Recently, I have been having this crazy idea of making sourdough related YouTube videos every day. So every day you guys could come on my YouTube channel and see me how I make sourdough starters, how I maintain sourdough starters, how I bake my sourdough bread recipes, and share all of it with you on a daily basis. Let's see how's that gonna go. So I've lost once again my sourdough starter and I need to make a new one because I have no backup. So usually it takes me about 3 days to make an active sourdough starter, and today I'm starting to make new one. So start with me, join me, and I'm going to show exactly how to do that. So all you really need is I've got this empty jar, I've got some bread flour, I've got some filtered water and something to mix in, and that's pretty much all you need. The one more tool that I'm gonna need for this recipe, it will be kitchen scales. I've got this very cheap kitchen scale that I've been having now for a few years. It works well and there's no fancy gadgets needed. So my jar is on the scales. I'm gonna zero that down and I'm gonna add 50 grams of bread flour. Now I've tried many different flours to make my sourdough starter, and I will say that bread flour, it is probably the best flour to make your sourdough starter with. So I'm gonna add 50 grams of bread flour into my jar, and then I'm gonna zero that down and I'm gonna add 50 grams of filtered water. Tap water would not work for sourdough starter because it has chemicals that supposedly should kill bacteria. So and the sourdough starter is a good bacteria. So I ended up adding 54 grams of water, which is not a big deal. The first day of your sourdough starter doesn't mean it doesn't mean much at all. You don't have to be as specific because the first day is just mixing everything together and adding and trying to capture all those wild yeast in a sourdough starter. I'm using just chopstick that I had in the kitchen, but I usually use a spoon, knife. Flat things are usually easier to clean off at the end, so that's why I chose chopstick, but you can use anything at all. So as you can see, it's all been mixed, and now as you can see, I've got a few bubbles on the bottom, but this is not an active sourdough starter, so those bubbles don't mean as much. So we can cover this up or try to leave it open a little bit, but I would say in the summertime it can be a bit tricky because there's more bugs around, like fruit flies, and they're trying to get in the sourdough starter. They're very much attracted to that. So I would say leave it open for a few minutes, but keep an eye on it. Otherwise just you can just close the top, make sure no bugs will get in it. I tend to keep my sourdough starters somewhere really warm, and I usually put that on the top of my kettle, which is nice and warm, and every time you use a kettle, just keeps the sourdough going. So that's it for today. I shall see you tomorrow on day 2 of making this sourdough starter.